Hello, my peeps. Somebody said in the comments the other day, no more peeps, because that when the channel was very young, I think is why. And, that early group of people, we were all young to this. We were all peeps. We were all forming this friendship of, so, just because I don't say it doesn't mean it's not that sweet affection for you guys. And the thing that binds us, and as more people join, they join that tribe. I mean, that's sort of thrown around a lot these days, but that tribe, that family, your chosen family, what constitutes your people. And that can be elitist in a way, but it really doesn't have to be. I mean, it can be a whole way of sort of approaching the world, going into the supermarket, making eye contact with somebody. You can feel, I mean, not creepy eye contact, but just sort of, I'm here and you're here and I see you. And when the person looks back, I always experience this kind of tender, I don't know, it's weird. If for that split second where you're my peep and so peeps. This morning I heard the expression, I'm going out of my mind, which in our colloquial way of speaking, it usually means I'm going nuts. I'm going crazy. It's like, oh no, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my And here we talk a lot about getting out of your head, because there's such a tendency to, because we have this big frontal lobe, to always be, which is our strength and our weakness. But sometimes you can actually bring your mind into a calm place where you can attend to, kind of uber mind, the collective, the chi, the energy of everything, and plug into that for a while. Otherwise, in a way, you're plugging into the matrix. It's a very, my brain is among my favorite organs. It really is. And I've had a lot of neural issues, which, makes me all the more appreciate the fact that, I still can talk and think, and I love my brain. But when you go out of your mind, amazing things happen. That's where innovation really takes place, because you're not running the same program all the time. You're open to reality because it's more like a shimmer than like, you can nail it down. Anyways, the song that accompanied it, and this, I'm really dating myself, because this was like one of the first songs on the radio that I just couldn't get enough of. Every time it came on, I was like, crank it. In my little girl bedroom. And the song was, now I'm forgetting the name of the, Little Anthony and the Imperials, maybe? Little Anthony. And the song was, and I think I'm going out of my head. I think I'm going out of my head. Because I can't explain the tears that I've shed over you. Over you. Great tune. Great tune. But that's often associated with love, is that you go out of your head. you're love crazy. You're crazy in love with somebody. And it's, you know, it's actually a thing. I mean, your heart can really be a challenge, particularly in a culture that would have you always thinking about things. You know, not feeling them. I mean, as a little kid, you're simmer down, my mother used to say, whether it was joyful excitement or just any kind of agitation. If we were fighting, if simmer down, which is a good, now that's a good, it's nice to have that capacity too. Mood regulation, I guess. Anyways, but yeah, going out of my mind. What is that? If we're anchored, maybe we can do that. Sword energy, which is cerebral, which is to do with the mind. This is a block. Sometimes I see this like antenna, though. Like a, for those of you who don't know Little Anthony, you probably don't know what an antenna is. Like on a bug, you know, to pick up things in the environment. We used to put these, what's called rabbit ears, on the TV. Or the TV. And you'd move them around to be able to pick up the signal and get a clear picture, because otherwise it would be static. I see these sometimes as that kind of, you know, I'm trying to get the message. How do I have to position myself? How still do I have to, you know, this is like when I quiet my mind, what comes in? What messages can I receive then when I go out of my mind? And she's blindfolded, he, she, they, this sword energy situation or person in a situation. Sorry, nose is running. No, well, it's there. It's almost like, you know, I'm hearing it in a different way. I'm seeing it in a different way. There's something about the, you know, the knowledge or instruction that I'm receiving that allows me to shift and in some way come out of the matrix. It's a pretty interesting movie. Also quite old, Keanu Reeves. And because our mind does construct a reality based on sensory stuff, which is also in the being. There's a legit, I mean, we're part of it, you know, it's not like we're standing outside of it, just analyzing it. We are the, you know, it's only our brain that says, that's something outside, I'm something inside. It can cut you off. It can cut you off. This thinking part of ourselves. Yeah. Six of Pentacles. Well, this is to do with reality. And it's kind of a shared reality. You know, it's a little bit, because this card always bugs me. There's the big guy in the red coat dispensing the pentacles. This is almost like a matrix situation, like I'll tell you what's real. It's kind of a trickle down thing where, you know, and this could be like the world of commerce and unequal distribution of resources or something like that. like getting a little bit, a little help, a little something from somebody who has a lot. I mean, these guys are in a, they're begging. They're in real need. And this person is meeting it out. And I think somehow, there's a new way of thinking about it, of perceiving it. What are we talking about here? What does it mean to get out of your head and into the physical? It could be that simple. Where you can interact with each other. That Six of Pentacles can be just exchange. Energetic exchange. What I have to give, I will contribute. And this is a card of emotional connection. The thing that gets you out of your head. I think I'm going out of my head over you. And that can be that can be a danger too. I mean, there is this element of crazy in love that's so outside the norm. It so transforms everyday life that it can be ungrounding. Well, there we have it. Four of Wands. That's a balanced, it can be seen as the portal. In fire, Wands energy. These two balanced parts that the two people, the two energies, the two simpatico somethings that agree to come together to make this place. It's a card of home, can be considered, in that Wands energy, fire energy, a twin flame card. But it depends on these two sides being strong and kind of equal energy. If somebody showed up with wimpy wands, no sense of purpose, I don't know what I'm doing here, I have no intuition about this relationship, it would be like that. It would be lopsided. In this case, both individuals follow their intuition to a meeting place. And this is that celebratory reunion energy. So I don't think the block is holding. Okay. We had that yesterday. Card of Cancer, water energy. Sorry. Okay, it's supposed to be that way. Water energy, major arcana, big water energy, a forward movement on the, riding the feelings forward in the psyche. And this is in 3D. That water energy, riding the feelings forward. This is your peeps. These are your peeps. This is the circle of friendship. And Chariot, this major arcana card, comes underneath Six of Pentacles, a card of balance, of reciprocity, of evening the situation up. Balance and reciprocity in feelings gets you here. This isn't a permanent, this is a structure of two people coming together in a creative way, drawn by their intuition. It's not like nailed down. It's not a brick and mortar. It's innovative, it's creative. It's like creating it moment to moment somehow. This is also a kind of moment to moment. I mean, it's allowing an out of my head experience without being afraid of it. So maybe it's now, maybe we're moving out of this block, out of our heads, into our bodies, pentacle energy, you know, and that's where you can meet up with other people and celebrate. You can meet up on the astral plane, but this is in some ways more fun when it expresses in 3D, in movement and joy. Okay, under 3 of cups, 8 of cups. That can be a card of walking away. But I see it also as a card of walking toward the next thing. You know, listen, there's a desire, I think, when we've found connection and love, to just stay. You know, to fix it in time. I don't want this to change. I love this connection. This kind of walking the path energy, it doesn't sever the connections. You bring them with you in some way. This Cancer energy, the moon, but it does speak to time and things evolving and moving forward. It's not static, you know. It is a dance. Feelings flow. They come. They go. It's almost like the tides, you know. We might like to fix it in place and in time, like this. I always want it to be this way, but I mean, good luck with that. I think that's something your mind thinks can happen. I think we're getting messages intuitively, you know, which is a different language, sword energy, than the brain speaks. You know, it's more like poetry or, you know, energetic exchange. One speak to something a bit ineffable, life force energy. You can put it into words, but saying dance isn't the same thing as doing the dance. Saying it is up in your head. Doing it is in your body. It's an invitation somehow. We're hearing it. The invitation to kind of meld these things. The ability to share in 3D and the ability to put it into motion and there's some way in which it's hard to believe. You know, it's hard to believe that we can feel this exuberance, this joy, this reunion, which is in a way fleeting, but still real. You know, what we share in 3D we don't, there's something about like we don't need to live, and I'm sorry to keep referencing the Matrix. It was a guy waking up from what he thought was reality, and, you know, realizing he was connected to a false existence, something that breathed for him and, you know, put into his head an idea of the world. You know, and he's covered with these tubes. He wakes up and he's like, freaks out because he's in this void with all these other people who are also connected to these tubes, and he starts pulling them out. You know, there's one down his throat and he pulls it out and, you know, leaves the matrix, goes out of his mind, or out of the kind of collective groupthink, into a different reality. And when he comes into 3D, it's like harsh. It's not high tech like this matrix thing. It's a reality peopled by those who have unplugged. And when they unplug, they can plug into each other. There's this possibility for real connection. Really real connection. You know, heartfelt, warm, loving connection. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Cups because, you know, we've got this progress, this wonderful progress, and then somebody leaving. But it's also progress. You know, it's continuing on the path. It's believing that the Eight of Cups, while very good and supportive, the feelings are real. The connections are real. But you know, feelings come and go. It's a fluid thing. And this is sort of like riding the wave of the water wave, the wave of allowing yourself in a way to go out of your mind. But Chariot is also a card of control, of purpose, of I'm heading in this direction. It's not being dragged around by the mystery. There's a way in which we can steer, you know, toward this place. Our psyche, our innermost motivation can actually, you know, pick up on, with these antennae, how to find our way to this place. You know, and get there. On a path, kind of on the love path. Perhaps to, you know, sometimes I think it's to a higher love. You know, to keep growing love, to keep going to the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, back to the Ace. You know, it's this cycle of, oh man, on 4, well, I was clarifying 8 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. This is a place of feeling unwanted, shut out. You know, it's lacking the resources you need. It's feeling like you're in the cold. Going on the quest for connection. This is a card, not necessarily if somebody did me wrong and left me out in the cold. It can be almost like a societal, you know, when we don't feel this in each other's company, loving and loved, there's this out in the cold quality, being in lack, and moving on, or moving back to a place that's actually emotionally joyful and expressive. And on Four of Wands, Three of Wands. This is a card of I'm waiting for what I've asked for, what I've tried to manifest. I'm waiting, for the answer to my prayer. It's coming into me, these, this person's looking out to sea. And in that one sense of direction, what's coming into me? It's a card of the future. Four of Wands, Three of Wands. Somebody has manifested, imaginatively, on purpose, has drawn, because wands do that, draws the energy in, manifesting this common direction. I want to be working in tandem with somebody or with everybody. How do we do this in the collective unconscious? How does our ability to move forward to the higher love kind of solve this problem in 3D for all of us? Because, I think we all can feel this sort of disconnect and are searching, where is it? When is it? What does the future hold? Well, the future looks really good. This is always a part of it. We're in 3D. We can't totally avoid having our needs not met, feeling like we don't have enough to go on. But there is a Six of Pentacles. Help does come. Help is given and received. And that exchange of energy is what grounds this future, allows it to come into 3D. And we're riding the wave of emotion. Okay, on Two of Swords, Seven of Swords. We've gotten this fellow a lot lately. This is like a nervous system that's on red alert. There's a danger here, and I'm getting out. Before this thing blows. It's a card of deception. It can be a card of self. Like, can I trust my brain? I want to escape the matrix. It's usually seen as a card of, deception, of the sneak. But in this case, I think it's like escaping or blocking overthinking. It's sort of like using your brain to escape your brain, maybe through meditation or some kind of stillness where you shut down the brain. And enter real life, where this exchange is possible and this joy. Three of Cups, Three of Wands, 3 and 3 is 6. 6 in Major Arcana is lovers. That, a love connection. That's what we've manifested and are waiting for. All of us. Nobody particularly likes to be in this place, feeling abandoned and out in the cold. But this is like, you know, what allows you to move on from that out in the cold place that leaves you on a crutch, on a stump, on a, you know, this guy has one leg. Well, this guy has two legs. Often it's somebody on a peg leg, but it's somebody wounded, can barely walk without support. These two people are supporting each other. They're together, but it's like barely scraping by. Feeling, you know, at the edge of, like, can I go on? Well, yes. Yes, you can, because of this desire in 3D for connection. Desire for it. Wands are about passion, life force. I need this. You know, I need this to live. So I'll go and search it out. You know, I'll escape my overthinking brain and enter my life, Six of Pentacles, and rejoice. The Three of Cups. On Three of Cups, Ace of Cups. You know, this is sort of like when three or more are gathered in my name, in the name of love, says YouTube. U2, the band. In the name of love. Like, we'll open our hearts, we'll be vulnerable to each other. We won't, you know, escape this possibility for 3D give and take. We'll actually go looking for it. And we'll know it when we see it. When we see it. You know, it's waiting to have this thing arrive. It's an expectation that this thing is on its way. And this thing, this connection, this feeling of connection, feeling balanced. On Chariot, Nine of Pentacles. This is the strong, independent self. So no relationship that's like wipes this out. This is being able to survive on your own. To come in from the cold, because you have, nines are, speak to the personal, you have the resources. You can create this kind of self-sustaining, you know, where you're meeting all your needs. You're not feeling any longer needy. And not like in a whiny way needy. I mean, this is real need. You've established, you know, in 3D security. You've taken care of yourself, which allows for this balanced forward connection. If you're imbalanced, you know, in yourself, if you're feeling like I don't have enough, nobody has enough, sort of scarcity mentality, that's the opposite of this. And this can be a card of getting help and giving help, a card of service and sacrifice. But the end result is independence and presence. It balances like connection and the ability to stand alone. But somebody's expecting, right, this Four of Wands, that we can move toward now, partly because we're good on our own. You know, we're not going to grasp the first thing, grab the first thing in a kind of desperation to get out of loneliness. 5 of Pentacles. On 6 of Pentacles, I love this, Queen of Wands. Somebody who can manifest. I mean, who's a major manifester, who's a mystic, who can bring things to her, bring her, him, them, manifest, bring things to them, draw them in with reasonable expectation, like waiting for the thing to come in, not in a passive way. You know, it's like, I'm not chasing. I know that this will come to me because I know, you know, I know myself. I know my situation. I know what I'm going to attract, what I passionately want to attract. And this is really, I can do it. I mean, I don't have to chase it down. And this is stability. It's going perhaps out of your head into the realm of creativity and new things and new directions and new connections. But not, you know, going out of your head doesn't mean you fall apart. It can actually be movement into what's real. And this is a card of the single person. This is the card of connection. And here we have it on the way in. I think you're Queen of Wands in this scenario. And Queen of Wands is a visionary, you know, is somebody who can leave thinking behind in order to tune those antennas. It's like the wands are sort of the attractive force. You know, this is how we get the signal through intuition. You know, shutting our eyes and tuning in and bringing the signal in. Oh, Lord. Yeah, okay. Yes. Libra, a card of air energy. That's balanced. The scales, right? The scales of justice, balanced, leveling out. Nobody in that 5 of Pentacles kind of need. You know, we're tuning into some bigger power, some not only in daily life, a kind of new clarity, a way to set things right, to recalibrate, so that there's, you know, this is a card of structure to a degree, of envisioning a way to build something new. And it has to do with relationship, of the two sides of the scale, of a new equilibrium. It's on the way. I mean, you know, it seems like every reading I say it's on the way, but in a sense it is. The future's coming in. And we don't have ultimate control, but we can envision the future we want, and it makes a difference. Makes a difference. And this is like step into your power as a visionary, as somebody who can see it. And by seeing it, manifest it. And it's not seeing with the eyeballs of everyday life. It's seeing it sort of with the inner eye. Okie dokie. Thanks. That's all, folks. And till next time.